Welcome to Integrity Data. In this tutorial, we're going to go over the default profile, and we'll show you how that relates to adding employees or syncing employees from the HRP, and the best way to create them and different ways that they can be used to make things easier. So the first area we're going to go into is under our employees and the default profiles. These are the current default profiles I've created, and let's take a look at some of these. This is the name of them. These are my 1099 employees, and if I edit this profile, I can see a lot of the different items that I can automatically assign when I'm adding an employee. The overtime policy, rounding, lunch, the e-time clock, their pay period, their main supervisor, their org levels down here. Now, why is this important? If we look under employee and employee details, and we go to add new company member, we can see all these items are blank. I don't want to have to come in here and select these when I add an employee, or I don't want to come in and modify these after I've sent an employee over from HR. So we utilize the default profiles. If I'm manually adding an employee for any reason, maybe I don't have HR, so I have to manually add it. Here's those default profiles. When I click on one, these items are added in for me. All I have to do is the name, first name, last name, and so forth. So that's what the default profiles are for. Now, again, I went to hover over employees and then default profiles. Every company should come with a default profile. At that point, you could edit it and make sure the items that you want to be in there as a default are there. For many people, they may only need one profile. If I want to copy a profile, but I'm going to make some minor modifications, then over here I have the ability to copy. So maybe I want to copy the California default profile. I click copy, and let's call it Midwest. I'm going to change the time zone to Central Time. Make sure I'm on the correct overtime policy. It's not California, so this one will work. These employees do not get an auto lunch deduct. These employees are going to be on a 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. 12-hour shift. They're only going to be able to view the e-time clock, so they'll be able to view their timesheet whenever they need, approve it at the end of the pay period if you want them to. If you had people that needed to clock in and out from their computer, you would put them on a standard. There's another one in this particular setup where employees can open up their e-time clock and go in and just say, I worked 4 hours on Monday, 7 on Tuesday, and so forth. So depending on the types of policies for your e-time clock that you had, you would be able to set that. We would select which pay period they're on, who their main supervisor is. If you don't have a main supervisor, that's fine. The PTO plan, whether or not their time is rounded, whether or not they get holidays or which particular holiday plan they're on. You can also add in org levels at this time, client, department, job, step, task, if they're standard for these employees. If the employees are being pushed from HR, we really don't need these because those are going to come across from HR anyways. But the main items we want to have in here for HR, time zone, whether they get the mobile profile, e-time clock, rounding, things like that we would want in here. So I'm just going to put Midwest, and I'm going to put Bobby's people here because I could have more than one supervisor in the Midwest. And then I'm going to save that. And when I'm adding an employee into HR, down at the very bottom, one of the last things I do for that employee is I'm going to select their default profile, and then I'm going to save them. And they're going to be pushed into time with the defaults that you've created in the default profiles. That covers adding a default profile to the software. I hope this helps. Thank you for watching.